After a rough patch of promos, this Play with the Patriots promo is sort of bringing things up a little bit and turning things around. It has got some good masters giving out team boosts, which are going to make them really valuable. And then you've also got a 104 Grandmaster who you can potentially get free to play. Now, there are little caveats with this promo that don't make it as good as the Lone Warriors one, and the main issue is with that promo length. Now, the Lone Warriors one was absolutely amazing. You could get yourself a Grandmaster completely free with not a huge amount of grinding, but still a good amount of grinding. There was a nice balance, I thought, with that promo. I think that was out for about 10 days, maybe 9 days, whereas this one over here, it's exactly the same format, but it's only out for 7 days. Now, that is a slight issue, but not a major issue, because there are still some workarounds. I calculated in my promo breakdown video that you'd get up to just under the amount that you actually needed to get yourself that Jimmy Butler at the end of the promo. But there were a couple of workarounds, and those were if you got lucky enough in some of the packs to get yourself some 93 overall players, that would help you out a lot. And also in the store with the BOGO offer. Now, the issue with the BOGO offer was that it costed NBA cash, but there were ways you could get this cash for free. And even if you started from completely zero NBA cash at the beginning of the promo, there was one way which you could go ahead and get yourself at least 700 NBA cash by the end of the promo to get yourself that BOGO offer 3 times, because it costs 200 NBA cash per time. But unfortunately, EA did remove it from the store. Now, that doesn't mean to say that it makes Jimmy Butler not free to play anymore. He's still a free to play card if you get luckier in the actual events and get yourself some 93s, or if you had bought those BOGO offers before they sort of stopped putting them out in the store. Maybe they bring them back, I just don't know. But you might have actually gone ahead and spent through your NBA cash, and that's why it's important to stock up on these things if you are missing promos in the past. But that doesn't really make it a major downside with this promo. There are some really good things, and those team boosts on some of the masters are really nice to see, but I don't get why some do and some don't. Like this Meta World Peace, he doesn't have a team boost on him. He just has a normal post offensive boost. And of course, the finesse power forward that you get is also giving out a position boost. I don't get why them two don't have team boost, whereas the other ones do. It doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. Surely it would make more sense if all of them were team boost or all of them position boost. That's not really a complaint, but it's just something to think about. And then you got Jimmy Butler giving out a +4 position boost with that post monster one. Now, the post monster boost is a mixture of 2 boost categories, which makes it really, really good. And of course, it is +4, which is really nice. It isn't a team boost, which might draw a couple of people away, and that 3-point shot is a little bit low, but it's still worthwhile in trying to get the card, and you are going to get him pretty much for free if you do go ahead and do all the things you need to do. Now, there are a little things with the set, like for example, the exchange sets. They are a little bit annoying just because you can run out of these players pretty quickly, but there are still plenty of ways to try and get them and then use them to get yourself some extra points. I find myself a little bit, and I'm really nitpicking here with the promo, but when you go into the main overall upgrade from 93 to 98, I have to scroll all the way to the right to get through all of my season 4 players and my season 5 players, but that is just really nitpicky stuff with the promo. I can't really fault it too much. Maybe the stats, like I said, the events themselves, they are okay to play through. Now, there are a bunch of them you have to play through, which kind of makes up for the fact that they aren't costing a huge amount of stamina per event. They only cost 25 on those blitz ones, and the main ones cost 50 stamina apiece, which does make for a pretty fun and pretty seamless grind as well. It's not too much on the stamina front. It's about 1,650 per day, which isn't a huge amount. It is still a little bit, and it's kind of deceiving because you look at the stamina costs on the blitz events and they are only 25, but then you realize there are 20 of them. There's 3 different sections, so it does add up a little bit by bit, but it is still doable to actually go ahead and play through these ones. If you've got a lower stamina bar, it might be a little bit tricky, but we have got some extra stamina bottles you might have lying around. You've also got the collectibles from the finals promo that you might still have. If you haven't done so already, you might want to use them with this promo if you are struggling a bit, or you might want to save them up for future promos. But this is a nice change from the sort of like annoying promos that we have had quite recently. So it's kind of going up a little bit, and we always have this. We have a low patch and then we slowly bring it back up. This hasn't fully brought it back up, but it is definitely slightly bringing it up in what you can get and making for a more fun promo. I think the next one should be one that has a completely new format. That would be insanely good to actually go ahead and play through, and I think that's what we need to hit a higher point over there. But we have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know whether there's a format better than this one, and also having monthly masters in the events do make for a fun grind as well, working alongside the monthly master section, and a great way to kick off the month of July as well with these 2 promos. This is a 4th of July promo, as it were, and you are getting monthly master emblems to help you in the July section for this month, which would be pretty fun if we could actually have that throughout every single promo, but it might not work like that. Hopefully it does for this month, because it does make grinding monthly master section really fun. It makes you more likely to get some of these 104 masters, and possibly even 2 if you do decide to spend more time in getting some of these masters. But that is all of my thoughts with the promo, and let's take a look at what you guys thought. I asked you guys on my community page and on my Discord server what you guys thought about the promo, and we'll start off with a YouTube comment that says, I mean, it's pretty good. The Grandmaster is attainable for free to play, and the other masters either have a team or position boost and are 102 overalls, which are good. And agreed, like the 102 overalls having such high overalls are really good to see, and most of them get boosted quite highly, especially on my team. Like I've got a couple at 105, a couple at 106 even, which do make them pretty good. Bowl is just an absolute monster just because he's so tall. You got Rondo giving out a gold team shooting boost, which you haven't had before, and now you got 2 guys giving out that shooting boost, which is going to be pretty fun in, say, if you have a Steph Curry, a Klay Thompson, you want to boost their 3-point shot up a bit more, there's an easy way of doing it. A Rondo's 3-point shot, it's not bad either. It's 100 on its base, and if you boost it enough, you could possibly get it up to 110, 113 even, depending on what boost you have. The masters themselves are pretty nice, and the fact that they're free to play, why wouldn't you try and get a couple of them if it's going to help your team? That epic guy says 10 out of 10 promo. I love that you literally only need to do blitz events and buy points in the shop, and this is a very amazing for free to play players. And I have to agree, it's one of those promos. When we had the Lone Warriors one, a lot of people were like, this is a 10 out of 10 promo or a 9.5 out of 10 promo. It's so good. It's amazing. You can get yourself free to play masters, and it's actually quite a fun grind to go ahead and get these masters over there. Book says, I like this promo. It's easy to get all 6 masters, and you can get the main playstyle select master, which is good because you do get those 6 masters back. It's not like the all-star historic promo where you get random ones back. It is straightforward. You get those 6 masters back, and it is good that you get to select the playstyle for the master over here. Whereas Lutho says 3 stars is all I can say. Now, he doesn't elaborate on this one, but 3 stars would be an interesting rating if it's out of 5 stars. I don't know, he hasn't specified, but if it's out of 5 stars, which I'm guessing it might be, 3 stars, I'd say is a little bit harsh. I think this promo is definitely, if we're going out of 10, maybe a 9.5 out of 10. So I'd say a 4.5 stars, possibly 5 stars. There are a couple of things holding it back, just because the last little bit to try and get the Grandmaster is kind of a little bit based on luck, but also if you've got NBA cash, which is still doable, but it doesn't make it as straightforward as possible. So I'd say probably it's missing that thing. If that thing wasn't there and it was increased by a couple of days, then of course it'd probably be a 5 out of 5 promo for me. Then Cody Montour over here says, I rate it a 2. The promo itself is great. However, it's just 1 week. I barely have enough time to get at least 1 master. Now, because there are so many events to play through, it does take quite a bit of time to actually go ahead and play through possibly. But rating it a 2, again, is a little bit harsh. Again, that's why I try and get all of your guys' thoughts and opinions, because I'm just one person giving my views, and it is a lot better to get a whole range of views from across the community. So it's interesting him giving it a 2 and saying that he barely has time to get at least 1 master. I don't think getting 1 master should be too difficult, even if you are pushed for time though. I do think maybe getting Jimmy Butler would be a bit hard if you do struggle to try and play through all the events in the time that you have. Borelli over here says it's good, but some of Butler's Grandmaster stats are bad. And I do agree, like the 3-point shots are a little bit bad. Some of the other stats are a little bit bad, but the boost kind of makes up for it a little bit. If it was a team boost, there would be no reason for you not to get this card. No matter what the stats are, you would definitely get this card. But because it's not a team boost and the stats, some of them aren't in the best of positions, you might be looking to get this guy on the bench rather than starting in your main lineup. Rev Trev over here says, as a Bulls fan, I'm pumped to grind this to get a Bulls Jimmy Butler. Stamina isn't insane, but it's 63 events a day, and that's a lot, but at least we get some great players with a good boost. 9 out of 10, that's a good review in my opinion. 63 events does make it a little bit time consuming, but the stamina isn't insane in like the cost of it, so I do kind of agree with this review over there. Another comment over here says, the event is great, but not my 80 to 84 collection of players. It's absolutely empty, and the 80 pluses are now over 10k on the auction house. Now, this is how the auction house pretty much works. Like whenever there's cards that are in high demand, the auction house tends to rise a little bit in prices, which is understandable, and I pick a couple of them up for about 17.5k, 20k, which is a lot for 80 to 84s, but if you had stocked up on them before, it might be a good way to try and sell these cards, and that's why it's trying to get ahead of the game a bit. When we get sneak peeks, perhaps stock up on those 80 to 84s, then when the promo drops, sell them for a couple more coins. It might be a way of making coins and trying to stay ahead of the game a bit, or you can just use them in the sets for themselves. You don't have to sell them to make profit. That is just a way you could be thinking, but I do get why that might be a slight issue for some people. And because it is only a 7-day promo, those sets are going to help you a ton in trying to get you some of the masters. If you want to go check out a brand new series which I just started on the channel, seeing what NBA records we could go ahead and break, the next episode episode should be dropping later this week. If you want to go check out the first episode of that series where we broke the most assists in a single game, go check out that video in the bottom left-hand corner. It was really fun to put together, so go check out that video, and I'll see you guys in that one. Peace!